everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to check out Star Wars Outlaws, behind the scenes crafting a galaxy of opportunity. I've been following Star Wars Outlaws since it was announced by Massive Entertainment, mainly because I'm a big fan of Star Wars and Massive are building the game, obviously the makers of the Division 1 and the Division 2, and also because I know that this Star Wars Outlaws is going to be an open world game, something that the Star Wars franchise has never seen before. And that has me excited because I'm not really a big fan of kind of single player games where you kind of just play through it and then it ends. I much prefer like this open world space where you can kind of explore and that sort of stuff. So today we're going to check it out, see what's happening. This is the most recent video about Star Wars Outlaws, and I believe this was following an event recently, but I could be wrong about that. Let's check it out.
Working on a Star Wars game is a dream come true.
I had all of the toys, and it's wild to go from making these little stories on the carpet to actually build a narrative in the Star Wars galaxy.
I wonder if we can dogfight. I can't remember seeing if... I've got a feeling that we can. I think I remember seeing something before where we can dogfight. I know that we can definitely take off from wherever we are and go into space, although it's designated spots. You can't just take off from anywhere. It's like designated spots on the map where you can take off. So I assume if you can take off, then there is dogfighting, but I'll probably...
Massive Entertainment is the perfect choice to build an open world Star Wars game because it is inherent to their DNA as a studio to deliver on incredible open world experiences. Yeah,
so first off, this looks amazing. Looks like we can use this little... whatever you want to call that. It looks like a scorpion dog. I don't really know what that is. But the guy was just saying that, you know, Massive were the best choice here to deliver because of the open world experience. And I kind of have to agree because I don't think there's really anyone else out there in the AAA space that can match Massive for their open world, the open world experience. And it's certainly in terms of the aesthetics and how the worlds are built. The world building from Massive is just incredible, and I think we're probably going to get the same here with Star Wars Outlaws, there's no doubt.
Massive Entertainment are master storytellers for open world games. This is going to be a fresh experience for Star Wars fans everywhere.
Immediately I had that in my head, all the possibilities of where do we want to go, what can we bring to Star Wars that has not been seen before.
Lucasfilm Games suggested that the perfect era to set Outlaws would be between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
What's great about that point on the timeline is this is a moment where the civil war between the Empire and the Rebellion is at its height. And this creates an environment across the galaxy where outlaws can thrive.
That's the world that Kay is stepping into, and she sees the opportunity just like anybody else.
Yeah, so Kay Vass, I think it is the main character.
We will see some really cool syndicates, both from existing lore and newly created for the game.
Cool.
When you play Star Wars Outlaws, you get a chance to discover what the underworld is like and live through those experiences.
The stakes are definitely...
Yeah, so I'm thinking based on that sneak attack we just saw, that this isn't going to be a looter-shooter game. They've probably already confirmed it's not previously, I just don't remember. But does anyone remember the Division 1, where in the initial promo for that game there was a sneak attack? But it was removed when the game launched, and the reason it was removed is because if it's a looter-shooter, but you have a sneak attack, then it doesn't really matter what gear you have to perform that sneak attack. You can do that with a low tier gear and obviously take down your enemies, or high tier gear and take down your enemies. It doesn't matter, and so the looter side of stuff kind of becomes not important if you have that sneak attack in the game. That's why it was removed. We do have it. Looks like we're having it here with Star Wars Outlaws, so I'm assuming this is not a looter. And also, I've seen there's no icons to suggest this is a looter game. I think this is really a story-driven, open-world Star Wars game.
Very high for Kay's journey through the underworld, but she learns, she adapts, she sneaks around, and she finds herself in very important spaces with very powerful people.
Slug Boy.
Building the world of Star Wars Outlaws, first thing we had to do was think of places where outlaws thrive. These hubs of scum and villainy.
The most exciting thing is being able to go back to iconic locations that people know and love, but then diving into the Lucasfilm archives and really bringing them alive in a
cool, man.
New but very...
I know this is just like cutscenes pretty much, and it's just promo stuff, but just this world stuff here is just incredible.
Genuine way.
It's not just about recreating Tatooine as you know it. Going back to the classic sources of spaghetti westerns, we try to recreate an authentic mood and feel as we build new points of interest to follow the already established history.
And there is a new location that we collaborated with Massive Entertainment on called Toshara. And this has been built from the ground up with the scoundrel fantasy at its beating heart.
Hang on!
This gameplay, man, it just looks incredible. This world.
Our goal is that you feel like you're stepping into Star Wars. And that means going back to those Macquarie concepts, going back to Joe Johnston's storyboards, Phil Tippett's creature designs, and creating a lived-in galaxy.
We're trying to create a world that feels alive and bustling with opportunity, that also is very grounded.
Yeah, so very much like the Division 2, they're trying to create this living open world, which they've got a lot of experience of with the Division 2, and I don't doubt that they will deliver on that. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone better to deliver on that.
And we're getting inspiration from the African savannah, but we still want to add the alien element, and that is what makes it feel like Star Wars.
We want to give Toshara some elements that make it really stand out in the Star Wars galaxy. So there are windswept plains, veins of amberine, and there's a vibrant city called Mirogana that's built into a huge rock that's been carved out by the wind that's ever...
Wait. So there's a city underneath this giant rock. Now this rock's been carved out by the wind. I hope there's some supports in there, because you know the wind isn't going to stop, so eventually this will all erode and this will just crush everything beneath it.
That's been carved out by the wind that's ever present on Toshara.
Looks cool though.
One thing that we need to always keep in mind is there's always a connection between the biome, what grows there, what lives there, like the flora, fauna, and the culture of the people who inhabit the place. From how the plants pollinate, or how vegetation and local resources are used in local clothing and buildings, to even how the locals have adopted wind into their way of life. We have created everything with an authentic approach, so players will experience all these places like someone who actually is there.
We made it, Nix.
Ew.
Working with...
That's the first bit of dialogue I'm hearing so far. Let me listen to that again.
We made it, Nix.
I can't remember what game it was. There was a game that came out, I think it was in the last 6 months to a year, where it was a girl who got these powers from these bangles, I think they were, I'm not sure. And the game itself looked quite a lot of fun, but the dialogue from the bangles and the main character was so awful that it basically just didn't take off at all. So I do hope that Massive have not done that here, where we've got this really great open world, but the dialogue from the main character in there, pet crab dog, I don't know what it is, just ruins the experience. I don't think they will, but yeah, I just thought of that when I heard them speak.
Working with Massive, we were able to really build out an authentic Star Wars world where you can travel,
wow,
explore.
Okay, so this takes me back to, didn't you remember the launch or the promo for Anthem, where you had one of the characters walking through this real like bustling kind of city, you had stores and you had this flying thing, I think it was not flying thing, but this walking mech that walked over the top, and it looked amazing. I remember the actual game. Yeah, it weren't quite like that. It was pretty dead. What I will say about Massive is, with this kind of stuff here,
an authentic Star Wars
like,
world where you can travel, explore, and discover in a way that we really haven't been able to experience in modern Star Wars gaming.
The high-stakes scoundrel lifestyle and the open-world promise allowed us to create a game within Star Wars.
There we go. Here's the dogfight. A little bit of
high-stakes
gameplay
scoundrel
here.
lifestyle and the open-world promise allowed.
We got 5 rockets. We got, looks like some have a sort of gun. I'm not sure. This is in a different language. Maybe that's a shield, maybe that's fuel, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Allowed us to create a game within Star Wars that had never been done before.
Shield,
not just exploring cities, but also getting onto your speeder and race across stunning wilderness. Then jump into your ship, the Trailblazer, and go on an incredible adventure.
We've only scratched the surface of what Star Wars Outlaws has to offer. There is so much more that you will get to embody and use and play when you become K-Vess.
K-Vess.
Players are gonna love Star Wars Outlaws. It's gonna be exciting. It's very adventurous, and that's what makes it Star Wars. So I'm very excited to share that.
So, where do we go next?
Anywhere we want.
Star Wars Outlaws, coming 2024.
All right. Well, there we go. I mean, the game looked good prior to watching this, and it just looks better and better. The more they show us, the better it looks. And obviously, all of that stuff was a work in progress, so I'm expecting it to look even better when the game finally launches. I'm not surprised that the world looks as good as it does. From Massive's track record, no surprise there whatsoever. I think the open world is going to look stunning. I think it's going to look lived in, as they state. It's going to look like a real world. So yeah, very excited for this game. I'm definitely going to have to check out more of this stuff. Obviously, if there's some kind of PTS next year, then I'll definitely check that out. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if this is a game that you're excited to play. I think I'll probably play this. We'll have to wait until we see a bit more. I do wonder how much more there is to show. They said, we're just scratching the surface. That could just be PR talk. I don't know. I wonder if there's like talents and all that sort of stuff. We'll have to wait and see. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this one, drop a like if you want to see more. And obviously subscribe as well. Until the next one, epic out.